I'm sure you've heard the news. Squish Arcana. The beat detective is here to uncover the secrets of the Vatican. Tonight, we're diving headfirst into the Vatican City, the world's smallest country with the biggest reputation. Seriously, it's like the Beyoncé of sovereign states, tiny, powerful, and draped in enough gold to make King Midas jealous. But how did this place, smaller than Central Park, become the epicenter of the Catholic Church? Picture this. It's the 4th century, and Rome is the place to be. Gladiators, chariots, the latest togas, you name it. Christianity, however, wasn't exactly the hottest ticket in town. It was more like that indie band your friend dragged you to, a little rough around the edges, definitely not mainstream. But then, Emperor Constantine had a change of heart, or maybe a really persuasive marketing team, and bam! Christianity went from zero to hero faster than you can say in hoc signo vinces. Fast forward a few centuries and the church needs a HQ, a place to hang its mitre, if you will. Enter the Vatican Hill, a swanky burial ground with a prime location. Talk about a fixer-upper. But hey, with a little divine intervention and a lot of donations, the Vatican went from humble huts to holy high-rises. And that, my friends, is how a patch of Roman real estate became the spiritual and literal seat of power for over 1.3 billion Catholics worldwide. Now let's grab some holy water and delve into the mysteries this place holds, shall we? Okay, folks, buckle up, because we're about to enter the world of secret societies, hidden meanings, and enough conspiracy theories to make Dan Brown blush. Because let's be honest, nothing screams. We've got secrets like an institution that communicates in ancient languages and cryptic symbols. First up, the art. We're talking Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel ceiling, Raphael's frescoes, sculptures that would make Donatello weep. A veritable who's who of Renaissance masterpieces. But look closer, my friends. Those aren't just pretty pictures. They're riddled with symbolism, allegories, and maybe even a hidden message or two. Then there's the architecture. Obelisks from ancient Egypt, pagan gods chilling in the courtyard, and enough secret passageways to rival the set of national treasure. It's like the Vatican itself is a giant escape room designed by someone who really loved their Latin textbooks. And don't even get me started on the rituals. Incense, chanting, elaborate costumes. It's enough to make you wonder if you accidentally wandered onto the set of a particularly dramatic opera. But hey, who are we to judge? Maybe they're just really into their incense. All I'm saying is, beneath the surface of this holy city lies a labyrinth of mystery and intrigue. And trust me, we're just getting started. Now let's talk about the motherlode of Vatican mysteries, the Secret Archives. Just the name conjures images of dusty scrolls, hidden chambers, and enough scandalous secrets to make TMZ jealous. It's like the ultimate historical gossip rag, locked away under lock and key. These aren't your average library archives, folks. We're talking about a collection of documents spanning centuries, from papal bulls and historical treaties to letters from Michelangelo and Galileo. It's like the world's most exclusive library, and good luck getting a library card. The Vatican swears blind these archives are just a testament to their long and storied history. But come on, people. You can't just whisper the words secret archives and expect us not to imagine hidden truths, suppressed evidence, and maybe even a few love letters from a particularly rebellious pope. Of course, they do let a select few scholars in every now and then, but it's all very hush-hush. What treasures, or maybe skeletons, lie within those hallowed halls? We can only speculate, and speculate we shall. Let's be real, folks. The Pope isn't just a spiritual leader, he's a head of state, a diplomat, and an influencer with over 1 billion followers. That's more followers than Beyoncé and Justin Bieber combined. So yeah, the Vatican's got clout. We're talking about a global network of embassies, ambassadors, and representatives who wield considerable soft power. They've brokered peace deals, influenced elections, and even weighed in on climate change. It's like the UN, but with better hats. And don't forget the Vatican's moral authority. When the Pope speaks, people listen. Governments pay attention. Even dictators think twice before getting on the wrong side of the guy who holds the keys to heaven. So while the Vatican might not have an army or nuclear weapons, they've got something far more potent: influence. And trust me, they know how to use it. Section 5. Vatican Bank Heist, Fact or Fiction? Spoiler, it's complicated. The Vatican Bank. Just the name evokes images of gold bars, secret accounts, and maybe even a heist or two. Okay, maybe not a heist in the Ocean's 11 sense, but there's definitely been some shady business going on behind those closed doors. We're talking about an institution that's been accused of money laundering, tax evasion, and all sorts of financial shenanigans. It's enough to make you wonder if they're running a bank or a season of billions. Now, the Vatican insists they've cleaned up their act, and maybe they have. But the sheer amount of secrecy surrounding their finances makes it hard to know for sure. It's like trying to balance your checkbook in a confessional booth. Dark, secretive, and more than a little bit sus. So, is the Vatican Bank a den of financial intrigue, or just a misunderstood financial institution? The jury's still out. But one thing's for sure, it's a story that's far from over. Section 6. Holy Smoke and Mirrors, the art of papal influence. Now let's talk about how the Vatican gets what it wants without resorting to, crusades and inquisitions. Those days are long gone, thankfully. It's all about soft power, baby. Think about it. The Pope is a moral compass for millions, a voice of reason in a world that often seems hell-bent on self-destruction. When he speaks out against war, poverty, or climate change, people listen. Even those who don't share his faith can't help but respect the dude. And let's not forget the power of symbolism. A papal visit can bring a nation to a standstill. A papal blessing can turn a nobody into a somebody. It's like the ultimate PR campaign, orchestrated by the master of messaging himself. So yeah, the Vatican might not have tanks and missiles, but they've got something far more effective, the power of persuasion. And trust me, they're not afraid to use it. Section 7. The Pope's Twitter fingers, Vatican 2.0 and the digital age. You didn't think the Vatican would be left behind in the digital age, did you? These days, the Pope's got more followers than your favorite influencer, and he's not afraid to use them. We're talking papal tweets, Instagram stories from the Vatican Gardens, and even a YouTube channel where you can watch Mass live from St. Peter's Square. It's like the Vatican realized they could spread the good word and their influence even further with a few well-placed hashtags. And you know what? It's working. The Pope's social media presence has made him more accessible, more relatable, and dare I say it, kind of cool. Who needs a burning bush when you've got a Twitter feed, am I right? So, the next time you're scrolling through your feed and see a tweet from @Pontifex, take a moment to appreciate the Vatican's savvy social media strategy. They're not just embracing the future, they're shaping it. Section 8. So, you want to rule the world? The Vatican's Guide to Soft Power. Okay, let's recap. The Vatican, tiny country, massive influence. How do they do it? It's like they've cracked the code to global domination, but instead of armies and weapons, they're using diplomacy, faith, and a whole lot of charisma. Think about it. They've got a billion-strong fan base, a globally recognized brand, and a leader who's basically the moral compass of the free world. That's some serious soft power, folks. And the best part? They don't even need to raise their voice. A well-timed statement, a strategically placed visit, a subtle reminder of their moral authority. That's all it takes to get the world's attention. So what's the lesson here? Maybe world domination isn't about brute force. Maybe it's about winning hearts and minds, inspiring faith, and using your influence for good. Or maybe it's just about having a really good PR team. Either way, the Vatican's got it figured out. Section 9. Vatican Vaults. More than just dusty relics and guilty secrets. So, there you have it, folks. The Vatican, a place of mystery, intrigue, and yes, even a little bit of humor. It's a place where ancient history collides with modern politics, where faith and power go hand in hand, and where the line between reverence and satire is as thin as a communion wafer. Are there still secrets hidden within those Vatican walls? You bet there are. But maybe that's part of the appeal. After all, what's the fun in knowing everything? So the next time you see a picture of the Pope, don't just see a religious figure. See a master strategist, a savvy diplomat, and a surprisingly adept social media influencer. And maybe, just maybe, you'll start to see the Vatican for what it truly is, a global powerhouse with a story that's far from over.